Hi guys, I am pretty ill at the moment, which I think is very fitting because I always get ill in September. I've got a really bad immune system in general, so I'm ill like most of the time, but September is like guaranteed illness time. But I think it's actually quite perfect that I am in my most September state possible to introduce you guys to my September favorites. As usual, I don't want to focus too much on things I've bought. I have got like one thing on here that I bought recently, but I feel like September has been a very like life hack kind of month. Like I've got loads of things here that I really want to recommend to you guys that are more so things to do. I think because September for me brings about two big changes. First of all, I get really ill. I'm ill all of the time, but like September and also the next few months, I'm probably going to be ill quite a lot more than usual. But second of all, I am preparing for seasonal depression. I've got a few things in here that are like probably partly my body starting to become a bit depressed maybe, and like me kind of like behaving in a new way because of that, but also some of these things are conscious things I'm doing to help prevent me from getting too depressed. So yeah, let's get started. The first one is a lazy hack for anyone who hates showering in the cold. I don't know what your guys' showers are like. My shower, I feel like is particularly bad for the cold. I've got quite a few siblings, so we've got two showers in the house. One of them is really nice because it's like a closed one where you like go into the shower and you actually like close something behind you so you stay nice and warm. However, the one that I use, which like I could use the other one, I don't know why I don't, is like a bathtub that you can like stand in and use the shower. But it's like right by the window, and I like to have the window open all of the time. I guess I could also close the window. I get paranoid about like carbon monoxide and stuff, so I don't, and that means that I'm absolutely freezing. And also that means that when I'm like not freezing anymore because I've warmed up from the shower, I'm so hesitant to get out the shower. So I have a new kind of like shower routine that has been really helping me. What I've been doing is I've been washing my hair and my body separately, because I feel like the most cold, most horrible showers are the ones where your whole body, including your hair, is wet, especially because my hair is quite long at the moment, although it does currently need a trim. I get out of the shower and my body's so freezing and my hair is like dripping wet freezing water all over me, so then I'm trying to dry my hair but then my body's freezing. So what I've been doing is just doing both separately, but there's a way that I like to split it. In particular, I love being clean before bed. I really hate putting pajamas on if my body feels dirty. However, I hate going to bed with damp hair, and I also really don't like drying my hair because it takes really long. I don't know why my hair takes so long to dry, but especially if I don't want to use too much heat, it just takes ages. And even when it's done, I feel like my hair is really susceptible to like, if I sleep on a pillow and it like does that, I'm very likely to then have a bump in my hair for like days to come. My hair is just very stubborn, and I think the best thing to do with it, like I washed it this morning, is just to wash it in the morning, let it air dry for a while, and then like the last leg of the drying, I'll like blast it with a hairdryer. So what I've been doing to kind of fit around that routine I like is in the mornings, I tip my head over the bath and I wash my hair, and then in the evenings, I wash my body. And that means that even when my body's freezing in the evenings, it's not that bad because like my hair's not wet, and in the mornings, my hair's not that cold because it's just my hair. And ultimately that kind of like split shower routine does mean that I'm like, I guess technically spending longer washing my hair and my body, although I don't wash my hair every day, but like on the days I do, I'm like in the shower twice, I guess technically. But the thing is, I'm not spending that long in the shower because I'm not like hesitant trying to like hype myself up to leave the shower while like blasting myself with the water. So I actually think I end up spending less time in the shower. Give it a try maybe. This might be a very personal issue. I feel like other people might have just like nice warm steamy showers that like, I don't know, maybe other people don't have this problem, but for me that has been working very well. The next thing I've written down is anxiety challenge. I don't know whether I've already mentioned this. I might have mentioned this in my last favorites. I don't know, I definitely just mentioned this in some video, but I have no idea which one it was. But I've come to kind of like report the good news and report the finale of like the anxiety challenge. So like a little bit of context for what that is. I, growing up, was first crazy confident, right? I was like a theatre kid. I was so confident. I didn't care. I was just like social butterfly, and also like no stage fright. I did like public speaking competitions. Like I do not know where that girl is gone. But then I developed like horrific social anxiety, like crazy. And I was like having panic attacks in school. I was having panic attacks in class. I was also generally anxious. Even when I was confident, I did have anxiety, but it just kind of manifested in different ways. But then suddenly when I was like young teens, it just manifested as such a social thing. I remember I was head girl in my school and I had to do like a talk, and it wasn't a big deal. Like I literally had one tiny card to read and I had a crazy panic attack after. I think I just after that refused to do any public speaking stuff, which was not good because I was literally head girl, like I was supposed to. But then when I was around like 18 that went away again. One thing that happened that I think helped was the fact that I was in a very codependent relationship in my late teens. And when I was with my ex-partner, I had this idea of myself that I was like unable to do things without him, and I was like unable to do things by myself. And then when we broke up, it was like, damn, well, I have to do things by myself now. And then I was like, whoa, I'm like able to do everything by myself. I'm actually like totally capable, confident, completely fine. And also like around that time, another big factor was that generally my mental health improved so much. Like I really was not in a good place for like my entire childhood and teen years. And then when I was around 18, 19, I feel like everything just kind of came together and I became just like totally fine. So because of that, like I think that and also a bunch of other stuff mixed meant that I once again was just super confident, super capable, no anxiety, absolute chiller. But then the past few months, I've noticed a familiar feeling sneaking back to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, no way. I'm really socially anxious again, but like nowhere near the level I was growing up. So I kind of feel uncomfortable labeling it social anxiety. I have been like really avoiding things. Like I feel a bit bummed, not deeply, but like there have been a lot of really cool opportunities, especially to do with like content creation and like meeting cool people, but also like I guess like career opportunities that I've said no to purely because I was too anxious, especially because I'm so content. Like I'm such a happy person, but I feel like that kind of is my downfall a bit, because I know that if I say no to things and I say no to social events and I say no to like career events and stuff, I won't feel FOMO and I won't feel that bad because I don't really care, because I'm so happy where I am. But that obviously is not good, because that means I have no drive to like do anything new. And ultimately I was like, yeah, I want to change that. So I've been doing anxiety challenge for a month now. I have been basically just saying yes to everything that would typically make me feel anxious. And at first it was awful. At first it didn't feel good. I feel like it wasn't particularly rewarding. Like it didn't feel good. I would go to these things, I'd be so anxious beforehand, I'd be so anxious there, and then I'd just feel like really fatigued and like not good afterwards. So it kind of like didn't feel worth it at all. But something interesting that I noticed, this one brand invited me to do like an event thing and I said no because I was too anxious. But then they invited me again. This was like a few weeks ago. I think I lied when I said I've been doing anxiety challenge for a month, by the way. I've been doing it over a month, because then I got that second invite a few weeks into me doing anxiety challenge. I feel like I need to come up with a less corny name for it. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I was like, wait, the first time I got invited by the same brand, basically the same event, I was like, oh, no way, I'm too anxious. But then the second time around, I was like not phased at all, and I was like, yeah, okay, why not? And same with like meeting people. For a while now, anyone who isn't like my best friend or my partner, I have been kind of anxious to see. Like even my really good friends that I've known for years, I have felt like really nervous beforehand. But yeah, no, I've been fine. Like literally anxiety just like completely gone. I think that like a lot of these sorts of like social skills are muscles, you know, they're like skills, you have to practice them. And I think I was just out of practice for a while. And I think I also like validated that fear by avoiding those things. And by avoiding those things, I would avoid the negative feeling, and I'd associate the fact that I'm not feeling negative and the fact that I'm feeling positive with the fact that I've avoided it. So then I would come to even further associate negative feelings with social situations and like events and meeting new people, and also further associate safety with just like staying home and staying with my like comfort people, I guess. But now that I've pushed myself and I've kind of like worked on that skill and I've proven to myself that I can literally do these things, they're not a big deal, they once again don't feel like a big deal. Not to like invalidate my experience, but I sometimes feel a bit hesitant to talk about these things because I recognize that this kind of isn't like deep anxiety, you know, like this is very manageable and it's not been causing me that much grief or anything. Like I have been avoiding things, but it's not been like, I've not really cared, you know, I've not been like suffering because of this level of anxiety. So I almost feel a bit hesitant giving these tips, because I know from someone who used to have extreme anxiety, these tips I'm giving now would not have really helped me when I was younger, because there were a lot of other underlying issues that I needed to get like professional help for. So if you feel like this could be helpful for you, please do give it a try. Not even necessarily for anxiety, but even just for like confidence. I think I wasn't very confident in my social skills and I feel way more confident now. So yeah, I really recommend that. Okay, the next thing is nude sparkly nails. I've found my new favorite nails ever. They probably do not look that nice. I feel like a lot of the people that I see online showing their nails have got like beautiful acrylics or have been like doing their nails with like beautiful fancy gel UV lamp for like years, and they're all like super great. I'm not very great at doing my nails. I know they don't look that nice, but I really love them. This is 2 coats of the Essie shade 13 Mademoiselle, and then 1 coat on top of that of the shade Perfection, Pure Perfection, also from Essie, and then also base coat and a top coat. Recently, I've not been wearing like funky nail polish colors as much because I feel like they clash with my jade, which is really silly, and I feel like it's not that deep. I just sometimes get a bit overwhelmed if I have too many colors on me. The green and like, I don't know, if I have like blue nails, for example, I just feel like it's all a bit too much for my eyes. I don't think it's that deep. Right now, I'm very happy with how I look because it's just like, I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and I just see like one color that's kind of the same color as this, a teeny bit of a color, and like that's it. You know, it's not too overwhelming, which is kind of ironic, like looking at my room. Clearly it's not that much of an issue. I really like doing my own nails. I've never had acrylics, but I don't think I'd be able to handle them. First of all, this is like a sensory issues thing, but the feeling of the cuticle being pushed back is like genuinely makes me feel really panicked. Since I was a little child, I remember an auntie trying to push my cuticle back, and I remember feeling like I was gonna start hyperventilating. Like, this has been a long-term issue before I even had the language to describe it. Like, I've never remembered anyone touching my cuticles and it being a positive experience. So that is the reason why I've never even like tried to get my acrylics done, because I'm pretty sure you have to get your cuticle pushed back for it. But even so, I also just don't like having long nails, and I don't like, even with falsies, I don't like the feeling of something being on my nails. So that's why I really like doing my own nails. It doesn't really feel like there's anything on them, and they're also still pretty short. Like, this is probably the longest I can tolerate having my nails, and it's just so low maintenance. It's also way cheaper. I'm very grateful to be doing my own nails because I'm sure I'm saving a very pretty penny. I feel like these are very nice because recently I've been really liking just having natural nails. I feel like this is natural nails, but like a little bit more scaled up, and also they're glittery, and I love glitter, so they're like a little bit of a treat to look at. Next, I have got chores in the morning. It sounds hellish. I can't believe this is a September favorite, especially from someone who has really bad executive functioning issues. But I think that is why I'm loving chores in the morning. This, for some reason, has been the ultimate hack that has just like made me the chore doer. Like, I've been cleaning the house, cleaning the bathroom, making dinner, cleaning the kitchen every day, cleaning my room, like everything has been done. This is like a version of myself I've never gotten to experience before, and it's brilliant. Chores in the morning is my secret, but specifically doing one load of dishes in the morning. And we also have a dishwasher, so I like do one rack of dishes with like big things that can't go in the dishwasher, and then one round of the dishwasher. The reason why I think this works so well, first of all, is that like because there's quite a lot of us and we are like quite a busy household, the kitchen is a disaster a lot of the time. So I clean the kitchen during the week, and usually it's like, oh, I don't even want to go in there because it's just like hellish. But I think knowing like, hey, you don't have to do the whole thing, you just have to do one load of dishes, it's a lot less overwhelming. And that also means that then later when I have to do the whole kitchen, it already looks way nicer because I've done a whole load of dishes already. Task wise, it makes the task a lot less daunting. But I think also because something I struggle with so much is task starting, all I've told myself to do is one load of dishes, and that's not that overwhelming, so I do it. Because I've already started the task, I'm like totally ready to go. Where's the next task? And then like I can either finish the kitchen, but usually I have to wait for like the dishes to dry, but that's great because then that means, oh, okay, kitchen break, I'm gonna go and do the bathroom now, or I'm gonna go and clean my room now, and I'm already in like cleaning mode, so it's not that hard to like go on to the next thing. Whereas usually what I struggle with is getting into cleaning mode. I also think it just kind of like improves my mood. I think, again, particularly dishes, because they are quite meditative in a way. It is a bit gross sometimes cleaning the dishes, but I feel like first of all, the water, like cleaning the cold water and the warm water and smelling the soap, it's such a sensory experience that I find it very grounding, especially because before I would just like use my phone first thing in the morning, which is definitely like not grounding and not sensory and not meditative. So I feel like now instead doing the dishes is like a really nice change from what I'm used to doing in the morning. And also I think it's just really satisfying, like watching something get clean. There's loads of reasons why I think it's almost like the perfect morning task, and I've been really enjoying that, especially linked to, I don't know if you guys have watched, I don't know if it was my last monthly favorite or the one before, where I mentioned that I'm doing like a 9 to 5 kind of DIY schedule at home. I feel like that is like the perfect way to start it. I think because my job requires me to be in front of the screen so much, it's so nice to start the day with something that is like completely the opposite. Next, I have music. I have been back to my like kind of gloomy rock music. I think this is a symptom of the depression probably starting to trickle in. I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my 4 favorites, but also on TikTok, I think that even if I wanted seasonal depression to go away, I still probably would be really affected by the changing seasons. Like, I think that is entirely natural. And I think even like being quite depressed is pretty natural. The extent to which people with like seasonal depression are depressed is probably like quite intense. But like even the most chipper people in the winter say that they are affected by the winter. And I feel like something that helps me to not get too depressed is to try to lean into the other ways in which my body and my mind and my understanding of my environment and myself, the way that all of these things are changing in a way that's more positive than negative. Because at the end of the day, I will change. And I feel like, yeah, the hack is to kind of like lean into the more positive gloomy feelings than the like extremely depressive, I can't get out of bed gloomy feelings. And part of that is listening to gloomy music. When I'm depressed, I don't really like listening to sad music, or like I do, but it's so destructive. Like, it's not worth it. I think some people, I'm sure there are some people out there that feel better listening to sad music, but for me that has not been the case. It feels very short-term rewarding because it's like, yes, this is how I feel, but it only drags me down further. And I feel like for me the hack also is not to listen to happy music, because I'm just like, what? Like, this just does not match the mood at all. It's just so unrelatable. But listening to like quite energetic, gloomy music is great. It's letting out that feeling and it's expressing what I'm feeling, but it's also like upbeat and energetic, and I feel like it changes it into a more fluid thing that moves. I love Elliott Smith so much, but I feel like I mostly try to listen to Elliott Smith in the summer because as much as he is a beautiful songwriter and a beautiful singer and a beautiful guitar player, he just makes me so sad in the winter. But it's this kind of like, there's no point to live, I can't get out of bed, I can't do anything depression. And that is like dangerous game to play in the winter. The music I'm about to describe, I feel like is more upbeat, and it's like, yeah, life freaking sucks, but like, come on, let's dance and let's go see our friends and let's go on a walk. There's a bit of hope to it. So the three bands that I feel like really come back into my rotation in the winter and in the autumn are Sonic Youth, the Pixies, and Dinosaur Jr. I was actually gonna wear one of my Sonic Youth shirts for this video, but I forgot to. The reason Sonic Youth is back, first of all, they're one of my favorite bands, but Callie, I think her at is like Evil Girl or something. Callie on TikTok posted her August favorites, and she mentioned Into the Groovy by Sonic Youth, which is a Madonna cover, and I totally forgot about that song, and I've been listening to it like so much again recently. So thank you very much to her for putting me back on. I really love Sonic Youth and I really love their covers, and I feel like they really embody that like gloomy feeling, that like upbeat gloomy feeling that I'm talking about. Then I've also got the Pixies, who are one of my favorite bands ever, and I actually have seen them live. Quick flex. Let me quickly check what album I'm thinking of. I'm literally listening to Into the Groovy right now. Doolittle is great, but I feel like it's more of a summer album to me. I don't know, I feel like the whole thing is just a bit more positive. As for that kind of like, oh my goodness, I'm so depressed, but like, hell yeah, let's dance, that kind of feeling, I love Come On Pilgrim and Surfer Rosa. And then I also have Dinosaur Jr. written down. I love Dinosaur Jr. Oh my goodness. I love their cover of Just Like Heaven by The Cure. I actually heard the Dinosaur Jr. one first. I got into The Cure after Dinosaur Jr. And I remember seeing my friend post the Cure version of Just Like Heaven and I was like, what? They ripped off Dinosaur Jr.? I got it all the wrong way. And yeah, just in general, I really love Dinosaur Jr. So I recommend them. Next, I have got Grapefruit Bloom Candle. This is like the least autumn September thing ever. Actually, this is a very summery candle, but this is one of my favorite candles ever. However, it costs £38. I've never bought it for myself. I've only bought it as a gift for my mum, but I love it so much. And then I saw it was on sale for £27 at John Lewis, and I currently am running out of my candle. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna justify this purchase just this once. And I got it. It's already been burnt. I just put it back in its box for the sake of the like dramatic unboxing for the video. It's from Floral Street, which is one of my favorite perfume brands like ever. My two favorite perfumes of all time are from Floral Street. I really love Floral Street. Okay, so one of my favorite perfumes and probably like my most used perfume is Sunflower Pop by Floral Street. If you like that, I recommend this candle so much. It's not the same scent, but this is like shockingly grapefruit, like strikingly crazy grapefruit, but like not overly like sharp the way grapefruit can be. It's very soft, and I think that is because of like the floral element of this candle. Like it's not sharp, but it's bright and it's juicy and it's sweet and it's very comforting and it's like very joyous. So it's like really not stereotypical autumn scents, but I feel like it's nice. I feel like hopefully it could like help me to wade off the depression as long as possible. As for candles, I also really recommend Dome of Harrogate, but they are quite expensive as well. I think they're similar, they're like £27. Their Mood collection, I really recommend. They're very expensive, but my candle hack, which I always like to give, is once you're finished with the candle and it's like all liquid at the bottom, and obviously you like can't burn that, tip that into a container so that it dries, and then you have wax melts, so then you can use your candle for longer, because if I'm going to spend £27 on a candle, I'd like to get all of it used. Next, I have decluttering. This is probably linked to the fact that I am like suddenly the world's best cleaner, but I've really been enjoying decluttering. I think I'd actually like to do a video, maybe reorganizing my wardrobe. I don't know how much I'm gonna end up reorganizing, so I don't know if it'll be enough for a video, but I might just like record it anyways and then like see how much I have. But I've really been enjoying decluttering. I think part of it is because like obviously I'm very lucky to be doing this job and I get gifted some really cool things sometimes, but that means that like I do have more than I need. I always have really liked not being overly materialistic, and I think part of that is not that I'm just like, oh, so naturally I'm materialistic. I'm actually very naturally quite materialistic, and I've really struggled in the past with buying too much and like having a bit of a shopping addiction, and I feel like I like to push myself to have only really what I need or like what I really want. Like I do like having beautiful things, but I don't like to overdo it, because I recognize how addicting that is for me and how like tempting that is for me, but also how lazy I get with like trying to be happy. I don't know if this makes sense. This is perhaps like going on to a tangent a little bit, but I feel like when you have lots of things, at least in my experience, it's very easy to kind of like rely on those things for that dopamine hit, you know? Like if I'm getting like a parcel every week, which I used to because I'd be like buying so often that I'd have like a new skincare product like every single week. And when that parcel would come, it would be such a hit of dopamine that I would kind of like need those hits to sustain that feeling of happiness. And I think that then when I was like, this is kind of a problem, and it's not even that much of a problem, but I definitely could be happier if I weren't relying on this. And when I realized that, I tried to like get a grip and get a hold of myself, and it's really helped. I've noticed that then when I had a lot less stuff, and still a lot of stuff, I want to make that clear, I'm definitely not the poster child for like underconsumption. I think when I was buying a lot less, what ended up happening was like I did have pretty things that I loved, but when they weren't like coming as often, and when I just like wasn't really letting myself buy new things, first of all, I was saving so much time. Oh my goodness, I was like window shopping online so much of the time, which was really bad. But also like I had to rely on other things to be happy. It sounds so silly. Like that's the thing, it sounds so silly because I really didn't have that much of a problem. Like I'd say my relationship with shopping was actually quite like standard, but it really did make a difference when I like stopped. And I don't know, I just kind of felt like everything slowed down a lot. And I think as cool as it is getting like PR and stuff, I'm so grateful. It does mean that I do have quite a lot of things I don't need, or like duplicates of things. I have quite a lot of duplicates. What's been really cool is that like sometimes I get cool PR, but I already have, I don't know, like for example, if I get skincare, but I already have like an identical product, and I know one of my friends has been wanting that skincare product, I can give it to them, and that's really cool. For example, something that's happened recently is I was reorganizing my journals and stuff, and I'm collaborating with a brand I really love, and I'm so happy about it. And their notebooks were like kind of my dream notebooks, and I realized like, oh wait, I've switched my degree. And before, like I did that whole video being like, this is my whole Kokuyo setup for my maths degree. But the thing is, I don't like spiral notebooks for like long essay writing, which is like so ridiculously picky. And I was going to still use those notebooks for my essay writing because it's like tough. I bought those ones, I want to actually use them. But then I was sent for the collaboration these like really beautiful, like kind of like the perfect composition notebooks. I don't know if the term's composition notebooks, just like classic like lined notebooks. And I was like, these are like perfect for essay writing. They're like super comfortable, they lay completely flat, this is exactly what I like. And because I have them, I actually kind of can pick between the two. And what was so perfect was then, without saying any of this to my partner who loves Kokuyo was like, oh my goodness, I like really need to do a Kokuyo order soon because I've run out of Kokuyo paper and I also need new folders. And I was like, wait, this is so perfect. I have a whole bunch of Kokuyo paper and binders, which I was planning to use for maths, but I'm no longer doing maths and I feel really guilty because I'm scared I'm not going to use them. You can just have them. And that ended up being really great. I guess what I'm trying to say is that like I'm very lucky to have the choice of, even though I try not to overbuy just because of my job, I do have the choice of like having quite a lot of cool stuff. Even like the Songmont bag I was gifted, for example. I love that bag. That is truly my like everyday bag now. I use it every single day. I love it so much. But that means that like the bag I was using before, I don't use anymore. So I think I'm gonna gift that bag to someone as well. Just like decluttering has been so nice. And I think that I might do a whole like wardrobe declutter video, but we'll see about that. I'm running out of time, so I'm only going to do one more, and that is taking care of my immunity. And this is linking to the fact that I'm ill, but I feel like I'm less ill this September than usual. Like last September, I think I was ill all month. I was working in childcare though, so that definitely was like really killer as well. But I just like usually get so ill in September. However, this year I've been like, no, I know I'm gonna get ill and I'm gonna try and like have it not be as intense. So the things that I've written down that I've been doing. First of all, I've been taking my supplements. I need to get a blood test. I've been saying this for like over a year now. It's definitely genetic as well because my family all get ill very easily, and then we all started taking these multi-supplements and we still get ill loads but like less. But the problem is because they're multi-supplements, we don't know what it's supplementing that like we needed supplemented. I think we just need a blood test, to be honest. But yeah, I get ill probably about once a month, which is not normal, and that is also like me now on a shit ton of supplements that like help me to not be ill. I'm just really scared of blood. Even talking about it now, I feel like whoa. It's really weird. Not blood coming out of the body, that doesn't freak me out at all, but knowing that blood is inside my body makes me feel awful. In like hospitals and stuff, when they would like check your blood pressure, when you feel the like ding ding. When I was a kid, I would cry. I did a first aid course last year, and I remember when we had to like watch videos of like blood like squirting out of people, and it would be like, was that an artery or a vein that was hit? I didn't care. That was easy peasy to watch. I like wasn't phased whatsoever. But then we started talking about like capillaries inside the body. The guy like who was running the thing had to tell me to leave the room because he was like, you're going to faint. And I asked him afterwards like, how could he tell? And he was like, you turned grey. And I did feel very faint. So yeah, I'm just like really freaked out by blood, and I feel like if I had to get a blood test, I just have to get over it Or I don't have to get over it and I can just like stay ill for the rest of my life. But it's a bit ridiculous how much I get ill and I'd really like to sort it out. So I think blood test is due soon. But anyways, I've been taking supplements and I've been a lot more strict with taking my supplements. And I've also started taking like garlic supplements as well. And I think that's been helping, but I don't even know. I've also been really prioritizing getting to sleep early, which I'm sure my partner is very grateful for, because whenever he sleeps around, and he sleeps around most nights, he always has to like really be like, come on, can we please go to sleep? I always underestimate how long things take me. Like I'll start getting ready for bed, but then like I forget that my skincare routine is like 5 steps and like I wait for each step to dry in between. So it just like takes ages. And I just also like chat while doing everything. So it just takes so long. But yeah, I've been going to sleep earlier recently and it's been really, really nice. I've also written dressing appropriately. I always underestimate how cold winter is, or it's not even winter, but autumn. And I always end up like catching a cold because I'm so cold. But I've been dressing appropriately and I've been dressing very snug. And I think that's been helping as well. And last of all, I've written steaming face. This is less so, I think, preventative, but as much as I love steaming my face for the face skincare benefits, which I think I've spoken about on here before, it's so nice to do with a blocked nose. Like I think I'm gonna do it. Oh, I've got makeup on. I'm gonna do it today when I take my makeup off. It's so good, man. Like when you can't breathe, or like, oh my goodness, you know when you have a sore throat, because I had a sore throat last week. Also, it's ridiculous. Like I get ill so easily. I had a sore throat and I think it's the same illness I have now. It's just like the first symptom was sore throat and that's gone now, luckily. It just felt so nasty and dry and like horrible all the time. But then when I'd steam my face, I could just breathe so clearly. It was wonderful. And I feel like it really gives relief to a lot of symptoms that you have when you have the flu. So I really recommend steaming your face. Anyways, I've been recording for very long now, a lot longer than I usually record. So I'm going to stop there. I really hope that that was somewhat interesting or useful or entertaining or anything for you. Please comment and also please like and subscribe because that really helps to push my videos out. Please share this video if you think that could help anyone. And also let me know your September favorites and just like anything interesting that happened to you this September because I really love reading your comments. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.